Let's now shift focus to the East African nation of Tanzania. The country's president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, has secured another term in office despite widespread deadly protests. She was sworn in after the Electoral Commission announced her landslide victory with 98% of the votes. According to the Tanzanian state media, the ceremony was not to be attended by the people. Well, Hassan's inauguration came a day after the country's main opposition party refused the election result. Arrested leader and Hassan's biggest challenger, Tundu Lissu's CHADEMA party, said that the results were completely fabricated. It added that no real elections took place in Tanzania.
Samia Suluhu has not been elected because there was no election in Tanzania on 29th. People were on the streets protesting the fraud-staged elections. People were on the streets refusing to be taken for granted by the current regime. And therefore, what has been announced yesterday is completely illegitimate. And therefore, Samia Suluhu Hassan is an illegitimate president of Tanzania.
Hassan's ceremony also came amid an ongoing internet blackouts and a curfew in the country. The government crackdown by authorities started on voting day, October the 29th, after citizens launched protests to oppose Hassan's probable victory, even before the results were announced. Hassan contested an oppositionless election with her contenders either barred or jailed. Reports speculate that anti-Hassan protests may have led to the death of thousands. The CHADEMA party claimed that it had recorded no less than 800 deaths by November the 1st.
The figures that have been put out are just rough estimates. And as of yesterday, our colleagues on the ground were saying, okay, the estimates could go up over and above 80, 150.
The Tanzanian government has not commented on the deaths. It has also rejected accusations of using excessive force against protesters. However, reports suggest that police were using the internet blackouts to buy time to reportedly hunt down people who might have recorded the atrocities committed last week.
There were incidents of disruption of peace that occurred on election day, aimed at sabotaging or preventing the election from taking place. We are very grateful to the security and safety forces for ensuring that the disturbances that occurred did not affect or stop the election.
Meanwhile, life in the country is far from normal. Schools and colleges remained closed, with public transport halted and some church services reportedly cancelled. The country's economic capital, Dar es Salaam, which was most affected by the protests, remained in a near-total lockdown. According to reports, those spotted in the streets were asked to stop for checks of their IDs and bags, while the shops were only allowed to open in the afternoon. The island of Zanzibar, which enjoys greater political freedom, also saw masked men patrolling the streets armed. A rights group in neighbouring Kenya presented a video from inside of Tanzania painting a grim picture.
Given the human rights and current security situation in Tanzania, it is impossible to say that credible elections took place on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. It is now day 5 of the internet blackout amidst mass killings and a fraudulent electoral process.
The United Nations has also raised concerns over the situation in Tanzania.
We are alarmed by the deaths and injuries that have occurred in the ongoing election-related protests in Tanzania. Credible reports we have received indicate that at least 10 people were killed in Dar es Salaam, Shinyanga, and Morogoro as the security forces used firearms and tear gas to disperse protesters.
The widespread, deadly protests have raised alarm bells and triggered reactions from across the globe. But the deaths and demand for change do not seem to have rung a bell in the Hassan's government's ears. It continues to deny a crackdown on protesters. This raises questions about Tanzania's democratic future as the country's first female leader continues another term in office.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.